Welcome to the Ultimate Spider-Man matchup chart. If you don't know, I am a Celestial Spider-Man one-trick, and throughout my ranked grind, I've definitely ran into quite a few characters and died to quite a few characters. So today, I'm going to be rating each character based off how much I want to fight them with Spider-Man versus how much I am likely to ignore them. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Adam Warlock. Now, I really don't understand much about this character. I don't understand his abilities. I don't know what he does. I know he has like 3 ticks where he can heal people, but what I do know is that every time I jump him, he is just healing himself to full health. I'm using all of my resources and he's just healing himself over and over, but he doesn't really have much movement and he doesn't do a stupid amount of damage, so I don't die to him all too often. Most of the time I just sit there in his face, just comboing him over and over again until I eventually kill him or eventually have to bail out. So I'm going to put it in definitely hard. I don't think it's an even matchup because a lot of the time you're just not going to end up killing this character, but I don't think it's unwinnable. As a matter of fact, I think if you catch this guy without cooldowns, you're gonna have a pretty good time. Black Panther. Now, I take a lot of pride in my 300 health Spider-Man combo. It is the main thing I do in games, and I can confidently take out 300 health characters with it consistently. Black Panther, however, is pretty unhittable, man. Even if you hit him with a spider tracer in the first place, which is kind of hard because this guy is just dashing around the map at all times, it's pretty hard to hit him. Even if you catch him in the combo, odds are he's going to have his dash and just dash out of there, or he has overshield for some reason, or he can use his E ability to just kick out of there. Most of the time, Black Panther is going to have a bailout option, which is why I'm going to put him in kind of unwinnable. I don't think he kills me all too often, but at the same time, I just can't kill him. It's an unwinnable matchup. Next up is Black Widow. Say what you want about this character, call her a throw pick, but what is absolutely undeniable is she is definitely one of the worst matchups for Spider-Man in the entire game because she has the stun. When you get in her face, she is just going to stun you, and it's a pretty ridiculous stun. It's going to stun you for what, like 4 seconds, and she can also 2-shot you in the time that you are stunned. So I'm going to put this in kind of unwinnable. Hila, however, I have to put in the top tier, and by the way, I know her name isn't Hila. I'm just calling her that at this point because I feel like it's funny. She's pretty much Black Widow in the sense that she 2-shots you and she can stun you, except she has a bailout option with the bird. She can just escape your combos once she's marked with a tracer. The only saving grace for defeating Hila, and the reason I almost considered not putting her in this tier, is because a lot of Hila players tend to be not very good at the game. It's just a fact, man. They see a character that can 2-shot people and they're like, let me just hop on Hila. Which means most of the time, while I'm right in their face, I'm going to be able to kill them because they just can't hit their shots on me. But if there's a Hila that actually knows what she's doing, this should be one of the best matchups in the game against Spider-Man. Next up, Cloak and Dagger. I don't know why, but there's kind of been this misconception created that this is a counter pick for Spider-Man. I completely disagree. I would argue that any character in this game with 250 health is going to be easy to kill as Spider-Man, and Cloak and Dagger does have the shroud where she can escape you, and she definitely has the bubble which makes her completely immortal. However, for the most part, if you can catch a Cloak and Dagger lacking by just catching her in the backline, especially if you have symbiote, she's just going to be a free elimination. I found that most of the time when I go for a Cloak and Dagger, I'm going to get the kill. I have probably like a 60-70% success rate against this character. I don't want to put her in actual drool. She's not that free, but I'm going to put her in definitely winnable. And let me change this tier to definitely winning because this is definitely a winning matchup. Next up is Hawkeye, and this is another character I think a lot of Spider-Man will try to say is a winning matchup, but I could not disagree more. I genuinely don't know what Hawkeyes you guys are playing, but in my lobbies, when I see a Hawkeye, I know they mean business. I know they're going to have good aim, and for that reason, when I try to jump them, I expect to be one-shotted. This is a character who can literally one-shot you as Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is a character where in order to kill someone, you have to get right into their face. After the Hawkeye buff, this guy is 275 health, so already when you're going for a 275 health character as Spider-Man, you have to do a pretty slow combo. So while you're doing that slow combo, expect to be one-shotted, and if you aren't one-shotted, expect to be swatted away by this guy with his sword. Overall, this is just a very losing matchup for Spider-Man, and I almost, yeah, I'm putting him in here. Cheapo Town Hall! This guy is definitely a losing matchup for Spider-Man, and now I'm realizing as I make this video how many losing matchups for this guy there actually is, but this is definitely one of them, because let me explain. 99% of the time when you fight against an Iron Fist, they are going to have the rejuvenation ability available. I don't know the actual name for it. The ability where he heals himself. That sounded like the actual name though, didn't it? If he's fighting against Spider-Man, he can literally just press that ability and there's not anything you can do. Most likely, if you already used your get over here, he can just sit there in the air and heal up and you have literally no way to kill him. If you catch him in a combo, he can kick away or he can parry you. So overall, you're just not killing this guy. However, I also think it's pretty rare that Iron Fist actually kills you because you have the option to just web away and he really doesn't do that much damage or track to you that fast unless he just parried and then you are already kind of low. I feel like the majority of the time you're not going to really have a problem escaping from this dude. It's a losing matchup, but at the same time, it's just a matchup you shouldn't even be fighting. Like, you're probably not going to be 1v1ing Iron Fist. So it's either in kind of unwinnable or pretty even. It's up to you. Mr. Fantastic is a character with way too much health. How does he get the health? I have no idea. I've never been in practice mode with this guy, but all I do know is that if I'm fighting him as Spider-Man, he is somehow going to heal up every single time or turn invincible, and I'm going to have to run away. I can count on my one hand how many times I've actually killed Mr. Fantastic, and about 3 out of 4 of those kills were me pulling this guy off the map. However, I don't think he destroys Spider-Man. I can also count on one hand how many times this guy has killed me. I feel like most of the time I'm just ignoring him and leaving him to someone else because I don't even understand how he works. So I'm going to put him in definitely hard. I don't think it's an even matchup because you literally don't have the resources to kill him 99% of the time, but he is always going to have the resources to kill you. All right, before dude, there's no way to say this and it not sound fruity. I don't care anymore. Before I do Human Torch, I just want to say this is with the assumption that you don't have symbiote. That is the assumption of this whole list. If you have symbiote, I might move Hila down a little bit because a lot of the time you're going to catch her off guard and be able to kill her extremely fast. But without symbiote, I'm putting Human Torch in actual drool because there is actual drool coming from my mouth when I have to target this guy. Because what I have to do is just hit him with a spider tracer, get over here, uppercut, hit him with 2 spider tracers. It is extremely fast and you are going to win the interaction 99.99% of the time. The only way you are not going to win this interaction is if he is getting pocketed or if he has the Invisible Woman team up and he has the most ridiculous reaction times this world has ever seen. I feel like this guy is pretty much a free kill, and I would make the argument that Human Torch is actually a throw pick regardless, but yeah, I do think he's a free kill. Wolverine is definitely a losing matchup. Once he grabs you, you're just absolutely cooked. You're getting one-shot comboed, but if you try to attack him at all, you are going to lose because he just has too much health. Any way you try to spin it, this is a losing matchup. I'm going to put this in kind of unwinnable. The only way you're killing this guy is if your teammates get him low and then you just jump in and kill him. But once again, another character you shouldn't even be trying to fight in the first place. The most you should be doing with Wolverine is trying to displace him with your get over here. Invisible Woman is a character I really struggle to kill more than Cloak and Dagger, I think, because she goes invisible and there's nothing I can do about it, or she Psionic Burst spits me away from her, man. I think she's definitely harder to kill than Cloak, but she's a healer. I mean, Spider-Man's job is literally kill the healers, so it's definitely a winning matchup. Most of the time, you're going to end up killing her. I just feel like she has some tools to get away from Spider-Man for sure. Iron Man, I'm putting in actual drool, but Buddy is just sneaking in there for a few reasons. First of all, the plasma beam. If he's already holding the plasma beam and you use get over here, try to combo him, you're probably going to die. It just out damages you simply. And then certain maps, like the one with the 4 pillars and the rising platform, the domination map, Iron Man can tilt horizontal and then just fly around the pillars and there's absolutely nothing you can do. Combine that with just a little bit of pocket healing and you are not touching Iron Man for the entire game, especially with the gamma beam. But most of the time, Iron Man players don't know what they're doing, and if you can catch them in an isolated situation, you're probably going to win the 1v1 because just like Human Torch, it's just web, get over here, uppercut, 2 spider tracers. It's an extremely fast kill, and if you can hit your shots once he goes into tilt mode, this should be a pretty good kill for you. But a good Iron Man with the right team could definitely be a problem. Next up is Jeff. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. I know this seems ridiculous. Jeff can just get away from you. He can just go into the ground and there's absolutely nothing you can do. Let's say Jeff is at full health. He's in the ground. You hit him with a spider tracer, get over here, uppercut. That's all you're getting. Maybe you get 1 or 2 more spider tracers after that, but this guy is already full health by the time you get those spider tracers out. You just can't out damage Jeff when he's in the ground. Even if he isn't in the ground, you hit him with a spider tracer, uppercut, animation cancel, go for the spider tracer into ground pound, and by that point he's probably already in the ground. Sometimes you're going to get a cheeky elimination last second, but if you're playing against a good Jeff who knows how to use his bubbles to heal himself correctly, he is a problem. Especially against Spider-Man. Someone ult your team, the only way you're getting your team out of there is by ulting Jeff right back. You really have no tools to take out Jeff, and you definitely have no tools to take out a good DPS Jeff. Don't get me wrong, I think Jeff is a throw pick. I think if the other team has him, it's going to be a good thing for us. However, I definitely think Spider-Man struggles to kill this character a lot. Next up is Loki. This is the first healer I am not going to put in definitely winning for a few reasons. First of all, he has the heal clone thing. You know what I'm talking about, man. It's basically an ultimate where he just sets all of his clones to set up a little healing radius, and that is going to completely negate your combo and force you to run away. And this is something he is pretty much going to save exclusively for you. 99% of the time when I jump a Loki, he is going to use those clones to negate it. Now, he's only a 250 health character, so a lot of the time I am going to be able to sneak a fast elimination on him, especially if I have the symbiote, but it just seems like he has a get out of jail free card with the clones. If you hit Loki with a spider tracer and he snaps to a clone and then you do get over here, you are going to know where the real Loki is and you are going to be able to combo him. But if you hit him with a spider tracer, get over here, and then he snaps to a clone, he is going to bail out of your combo. So for that reason, I think this is a pretty even matchup, almost laughably so. I think it is so even. Next up is Scarlet Witch. A lot of people try to argue, especially lately, that this isn't a counter pick to Spider-Man. I disagree. I don't think this character is going to make me completely switch off of Spider-Man. Most of the time, I'm just going to try to ignore her and run away from her. But at the same time, stay away from me. Like, that is literally my game plan when I play Scarlet Witch, is just stay away from me. Because the thing is, she can just track onto you while you're swinging through the air, which adds up damage over time. And when you try to attack her, she has 2 of the little ghost bursts. At least I think it's 2. I don't know, man. She can just turn invisible, fade away. You're not going to kill her. So just stay away from me. I'm not even going to fight you to begin with because I'm not going to kill you. There is a 0% chance I kill you, and you are going to kill me every single time because she actually does do a little bit of damage, especially when she throws those little bombs in between the auto tracking move. Once again, is this a Namor level counter pick? No, I don't think so, but definitely stay away from me, just like these 2 characters up here. Luna Snow is definitely a winning matchup. I think I would rather go for a Luna than an Invisible Woman for sure. But if she is able to hit you with the freeze, obviously you're just dead. But it's not like she's going to hit you with the freeze every single time. It's not hit scan. She only has 1. It's like every 10 seconds and you're moving around pretty fast. So the majority of the time she's either going to miss or she's not going to have it ready, which is why this is definitely a winning matchup. I'm just not drooling because it might just be my life if she can hit me with that freeze. Winter Soldier needs to stay away for me for multiple reasons. The first is if he hits me with the chain, I'm literally dead. He can just chain me in, hit me once in the head with his pistol, and then dash into me, and I'm absolutely grits. The next reason is if I try to attack him, he can just use his abilities and get overshield, and there's literally nothing I can do. I can't kill him. He's unkillable to Spider-Man, and he is going to kill me every single time I try to attack him. So this is another character that just needs to stay away from me. Storm is actual drool. There's definitely a pattern here with the flying characters. They just sit there 250 health. Most characters struggle to kill them, but all you have to do, spider tracer, get over here, uppercut, 2 spider tracers. As long as they don't get pocketed, it should be fine. Storm does have a little move where she bursts, and that definitely does a lot of damage, and sometimes she has gotten some sneaky eliminations on me with that, but the majority of the time I'm taking out Storm effortlessly. And now, fellas, we are introducing a new tier. This tier is going to be called I'm Switching Off. This is so unwinnable that your only option if you are playing this character is to switch off. And I can think of 2 characters that go in here right off the bat. But the first is Star-Lord. If you are playing against a very good Star-Lord that has it out for you, you might as well just switch off, dude, because you're not killing this guy. The reason is you hit him with a spider tracer, you try to get over here and he uses some iframes, you're not killing him. You try to hit him with a spider tracer, he uses his iframes, you're not killing him. You try to uppercut him, he uses his iframes, you're not killing him. He can get out of your combo every single step of the way. And what people don't talk about is he pretty much has a Scarlet Witch ability, as he can just not aim at you and hit you no matter where you are, no matter how fast you're going. He can just spin around and he will hit every shot on you, regardless of the fact that you just b-hop behind him to try to get something rolling. Even when you have the symbiote, he just uses his iframes to get out of the symbiote. This is a very, very unwinnable matchup, and if you are playing against a good Star-Lord who understands his role and is commanded to take out Spider-Man, you're going to have a rough time. You might as well just switch off. Next up is Squirrel Girl. She has some similar problems to Luna in the sense that if you are fighting her and she hits you with a stun, you are absolutely dead. She struggles to hit you with her main attack while you're swinging around, but once you're in her face, if she can hit you with a nut or two, you're absolutely grits. So she definitely has some options to kill you, but for the most part, she's going to be a sitting duck if she doesn't have her abilities available, or if you have good movement and you're able to take her out quickly. It should be a pretty decent kill for you. So I'm going to put it in pretty even. She has some opportunities to kill you for sure, but you should be able to take her out with relative ease. Spider-Man versus Spider-Man is obviously pretty even, but if the other Spider-Man has symbiote, I will completely switch off. It is unwinnable 100%, but seeing how this list is under the assumption that no one has symbiote, we're putting him in pretty even. Next up is Magik, another character that gets iframes, and any character that gets iframes just automatically wins against Spider-Man because you try to combo them, they can just go invincible at any step of the way, which is why this is kind of an unwinnable matchup. The thing is, she can't really reach you. Like, if you're just swinging around, you're gonna get away with relative ease. But yeah, I'm going to put this in kind of unwinnable because if you want to duke it out with her, she's going to win 100% of the time. Raccoon doesn't really win the matchup against you. It's not like he's killing you left and right. You just can't really kill him. He's just so annoying. He's similar to Jeff, but I'm not going to put him in kind of unwinnable because I think Jeff has a far better chance of killing you than Raccoon does. I'm just going to say it's definitely hard, as in it's definitely hard to kill him. Not it's a hard matchup. This guy hasn't really killed me that much. Maybe he's killed me like 3 times, but realistically, it's just so hard to kill him. And if there was a really good Raccoon player, like a top 50 Raccoon player against me, I don't think I would kill him once the entire game. He could just dash away and run away, and it would be extremely hard for me to do anything about that. Moon Knight, where do I begin? This is my favorite character to fight in this entire game, and there is actual drool coming out of my mouth. Now, these other characters, I'm hyperbolating a little bit. I get hype when I see them. Moon Knight, I'm actually drooling. You can hear it in my mouth right now. I'm salivating just thinking of fighting Moon Knight, man. 0% chance he gets away from you ever. His only line of defense is throwing the Ankh down and just looking at it and just praying you walk right into it, which you never do. You never do because you're flying around, you're webbing around, trying to web Moon Knight. You're not worried about walking into him and walking into his Ankh. No, you are webbing him. Get over here. Spider Tracer, 2 Spider Tracers, dead every single time. And he never gets pocketed. That's the best part. His healers never even look his way. He is always just a free elimination. Mantis is definitely a winning matchup. However, I think she has a better chance of killing you than these 3 healers just because she throws her sedate down. She doesn't even have to aim it, and you are a sitting duck for like 10 seconds. It's not like Luna where she has to literally look at you and it's not hit scan. It has like a proximity effect, which makes it so easy for her to hit you, especially right after you do the get over here and you are close to the ground, because she is also on the ground. You are probably going to get sedated like 80% of the time you go against Mantis if you didn't already bait out the sedate before that. So for that reason, it's a winning matchup, but not by much. Now, if you're watching this video right now, I'm assuming that you play Spider-Man, so there's really no reason for me to explain why Namor causes you to switch off. But just in case you don't play this character and you've made it this far, I appreciate you watching the video despite the fact you don't play Spider-Man. I'm going to explain to you why Namor is so stupid. He can just throw his turrets down in wherever you are on the map. It doesn't matter. You could be 50 feet in the air. There's some turret in Zimbabwe just picking you off. 30 damage at a time, and because you're Spider-Man, you're swinging full speed. You can't expect Luna to hit shots on you to heal you while you're swinging, yet Namor's turrets just lock on you. Bink, 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 and now you're pushing into a fight at 150 health because you can't get heals. You have to go to a heal pad in order to get heals, and even so, once you get to that heal pad and you try to go back to the fight, there's another turret over here shooting at you, getting you low again. So pretty much if you're playing against the Namor, you're always going to be down at least 50 health going into engagements. And then if you try to attack Namor himself, he can just ball up while 3 turrets just bop, bop, bop. And by the way, you have no way to break the turrets because your spider tracers only do like 30 health. And I'm pretty sure the Namor turrets are sitting at like 150 or something ridiculous. So yeah, Namor is just a completely losing matchup. Might as well just switch off. Next up is Punisher. This is definitely a winning matchup. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes this guy can pull out his shotgun and one-shot you. Sometimes he can just laser you with his AR. But the majority of the time, I think I have an easy time fighting this guy. Probably just because he's so fat. I mean, his hitbox is huge. It's so easy to hit the spider tracer. It's so easy to hit my combos. And the majority of the time, I do end up killing him. Psylocke is definitely a losing matchup. There's an argument to be made that she is a winning matchup, but I completely disagree because just like Black Panther, she has 2 dashes. If you are comboing her, she can just dash out. She can literally survive twice. The only way you're killing her is if she has no dashes. And even if she has invis and you hit her with a tracer, you can't use get over here on her. So overall, she's just well equipped to fight Spider-Man for sure. And then finally, we have all the tanks. All of the tanks are obviously losing matchups. You shouldn't even be fighting tanks as Spider-Man. But the only tank I will actually rank here, because I think it's kind of a good fight, is Groot. I feel like I kind of have an easy time fighting against Groot. I'm not going to lie. Not only can I pull him towards my team and maybe catch him off guard, but I don't know if the Groots I'm playing against are just bots, but I feel like a lot of the time I can just sit there and just spam overhead punches, web him overhead punch, and kill him eventually. If it's a 1v1, I like my odds against Groot. Groot is really the only tank I don't mind 1v1ing, to be completely honest. All these other tanks, there's no point in ranking because it's just losing matchups, really. So here is my Spider-Man matchup chart. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. If you made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe for more Marvel Rivals content and more Spider-Man content, and leave a like on the video if you liked the video. I'll see y'all later. Bye.